The world's fastest growing electric car brand, they're already using robots in their factories. They're using two different types of robot. I personally saw one of them when I was there at the factory, but they're now using a much more advanced robot as well. And it's very likely, from what I can tell, guys, about to increase production at their EV factories in China. Apparently, they actually shut down production lines for 3 weeks to basically speed up their robotics, to speed up the EV manufacturing, to decrease the amount of input needed by human workers, which was slowing things down. But these are the sales from that manufacturer, and this is what they're doing to actually produce incredible cars at such very, very affordable prices. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. It's great to see you. I was just recently in China. By the way, if you want to see some new Chinese EVs, come check them out. They'll be at the Melbourne Electric SUV show, which is on this weekend. I'll be there on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'd love to see you. I'll put a link in the description below to tickets. So, guys, I was just in China. I saw some of these EVs coming off the production line. Polestar, Zika, Lincoln Co., a variety of brands. However, the main one for me, the most interesting manufacturer, is clearly Zika. I think they're, for some reason, able to just, I don't know, their engineers are just incredibly fast at incorporating the newest battery technology, incredible charging speeds, like 565 kilowatt charging speeds that actually work with ultra high energy density batteries and just structural battery packs. This technology we're seeing is truly, it's honestly truly staggering to see. People should be considering this. This is very serious. Zika, they just had their IPO on the New York Stock Exchange. And they are this year the fastest growing car company, in spite of the fact they shut down their production lines for these new robots. Now, when I was at the factory, they were already using these skateboard robots. They drive around themselves autonomously and do all these different things. I jumped onto one of them and it kept driving. I wasn't meant to do that, of course, but you guys know me. I don't like following rules. Anyway, I jumped on one because I just had to do it. But I also found that these robots generally worked right. Sometimes they didn't, and sometimes they don't just drive straight into you. They're meant to actually sense you're a human and go on their own paths. They have these set pathways, and they seem to sometimes deviate from those pathways if something is in the way. But they didn't seem to notice humans being in the way, so it's like I had to jump out of the way at the last minute to avoid these robots crashing into me. But now they are using more advanced robots. So Chinese media have reported that Zika is now using humanoid robots in their factory. They've been used for the last month at their factory. They're saying 21 days, right? So the factory was shut down for exactly 21 days. I'm pretty sure, guys, that they've been testing using these robots in the factory for those 21 days. And maybe their staff are kind of like, well, we don't want to be replaced. So the managers are like, well, okay, we'll shut down the factory. We'll say we're doing these production line upgrades, but really we're testing using these humanoid robots that could replace people. Now, I know wages are pretty cheap in China, but robots are much cheaper than people. It doesn't matter what country you're in. So Zika are a premium electric car manufacturer, and they are the latest automaker to be using these electric or these robots in their factories after NIO and I believe BYD as well. But this robot to me looks a bit more advanced than what I saw at NIO's factory. The NIO one actually looks a little freaky as well. Anyhow, Zika have welcomed their first humanoid robots in early July. Apparently it's called the Walker S Lite from humanoid robot maker UB Tech Robotics. And as of today, Walker S Lite, he is very lightweight, and apparently he can do stuff like lifting tasks and other things. Now, guys, I'm guessing that these robots at the beginning probably are not that advanced, can't do that much. But of course, the software will improve just like it does in any product. The product will improve, and eventually these robots will replace humans. I'm sorry to you guys who work in the Zika factory, but most of you will eventually be replaced. We will as well, don't worry. I'll be replaced probably. You'll be watching a robot who'll be smarter than me, will be able to give you better information than me, probably shed tears better than me. Do all that human stuff, you won't know the difference. It'll be, it's happening. Tony Sieber has talked all about this. It's scary, but it is happening. There's no question about it. Now, apparently, people will work hand in hand with robots at these Chinese factories, and over the last 3 weeks, these robots have been doing on-site training. So they can kind of train them. And then what they do is they kind of show the robot what to do. The human will show it, and then the robot will actually copy the human. So Walker S Lite, the robot, combines semantic visual simultaneous localization and mapping, navigation, end-to-end imitation learning, visual recognition, and whole body fine motion control to autonomously navigate and walk under load on different assembly lines and work in concert with automated guided vehicles, according to the company. Now, they can lift about 15 kilograms, so not a huge amount of weight, but I'm guessing that will improve as well. Now, Zika, how are they going? Is this going to improve their productivity? Well, I think it is. If we have a look at Zeekr's quarterly deliveries, they just revealed those numbers. And like I said, they are the fastest growing car manufacturer. The EV sales have grown this year by 100%. But that includes them shutting down the production line for three weeks in their main EV factory. Meaning, what would their growth have been if they hadn't basically been out of business or not producing vehicles for a month? It could have been significantly more than this, but growth of 100% is pretty spectacular. And I think my points that I've made now for years about this car company, Zeekr, are proving the proof is in the pudding. I mean, people are not watching my videos and buying Zeekr vehicles, I don't believe, on my advice in China. They're doing it because they have the best technology. Data released by Zeekr shows that they delivered 55,000 vehicles in the second quarter of this year, which is growth of 100% versus last year. But importantly, it's growth of 66% versus the first quarter of this year. That's pretty staggering. Year-to-date deliveries for Zika are just under 104,000, which is, amazing. So year-to-date, their growth versus last year-to-date is 90%. Now, this is the world's fastest growing car manufacturer for a damn good reason. I can tell you, having been in China, some of the people running this company, very intelligent, probably speak English better than I do. So I'd be pretty wary if I was another car manufacturer. I'd be looking at what they're doing. These monthly deliveries for last month were down 22% because of the fact that their main factory was shut down. Now, Zika, though, is probably going to come back with a vengeance, considering they now have robots speeding up production. They now have some of the best cars in the world. They're now selling EVs overseas. They're just about to come to Australia. They just revealed the new Zeekr 007. They've also revealed the new Zika, basically the electric SUV version of the 007, which, to be honest, is probably maybe the most impressive electric SUV I've seen this year. Now, I know only a few details at this point in time, but they're very lightweight for what they are. Lighter weight than internal combustion engine vehicles. Energy density of these battery packs that they're using is pretty staggering. They're using new Aegis blade batteries, using also, in addition to that, CATL's Shenzhen 2.0 battery. Charging speeds are staggering. Power in these new cars is amazing. Guys, this is a car company that people should be very concerned about if they are the competition. If you're looking for a new EV, I'd be having a very close look at this company. Thanks for watching.